What's up, everybody? This is Joystick Junkies. I thought, hey, what's up, Evan? Welcome back, man. How
What's
you
up,
doing,
man?
man? What's
Yes,
up?
by the skin of my teeth, I made it. I made it.
Yeah, this is Joystick Junkies, everybody. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Evan? I know you made it.
I could have a little car trouble, but I made it. Made it back home. I'm happy.
Nice,
Man, I'm
nice.
excited to talk about these games, man. I've been playing these games all week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
oh
played
my
like
god.
every Assassin's Creed. So
What was your favorite one before we get into ours?
my favorite one, probably two, like you, probably two.
Well, no, two's not my favorite.
Two is
Well,
probably my favorite.
story wise, I think two is probably my favorite. Two and
Yeah.
Brotherhood are probably my favorite.
Hmm.
My favorite overall, and it's gonna sound weird because everybody hated this one.
Yeah.
I loved three. I loved three so
Three is
much. I
awesome.
thought,
Three is cool.
well, my least favorite, and you're gonna find it funny. I don't like Black Flag.
I like Black Flag. I like the naval battles, but I just like
And
that kind of stuff.
see, that's the cool thing. I thought Edward was. I thought the story to four was so bad
Yeah,
because he wasn't an assassin. He didn't care about the assassins till
exactly.
the very, very end of it.
Yep.
And I didn't care for it. I really didn't. And
Yeah.
everybody who hated on Connor because Connor had no. I'm like, okay, you realize where Connor coming from. He grew up without a father.
Yep.
He grew up knowing that his father and his best friend, were responsible for killing his mother
Yep.
at the age of 10. And he grew up pretty much parentless and without any structure. I'm
Yeah.
like, and the first time you see this, Native American hulking brute, because he's like, I think in the game he's like 6'4", and
Yeah.
he's solid.
Yeah.
He just kicks ass. And you guys hate him because he's one dimensional. I'm like, oh,
I
and
like
like
that.
you praise Edward for being an Ezio knockoff.
Yep.
So that's my beef with that. I just want to get that out the way because I like four. I thought the naval battles were cool, but it's called what it is. It was a pirate game that they slapped Assassin's Creed on.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like the newer ones are more RPGs than they are like action
Hate it.
adventure. Like half and half. Me, I enjoy the new ones, but that's me. I kind of like the new approach.
I
But
don't. The only reason I don't like it is because it's all loot based. It's all even though they're not making money off these loot bases.
exactly.
It's I don't want to scavenge to get newer weapons and stuff like these are supposed to be characters that are supposed to be not just some of the smartest fighters,
Yeah.
but some of the most deadly people ever. And for me, for me to be dangerous, I need a level 30 sword or some shit like that to be
Yeah.
dangerous and
Yeah.
not struggle. I don't like it. In three, I remember the glitch where in three you be at the docks. I
Yeah.
think it was in New York. And you went to New York and you were in the docks.
Hmm.
Literally, and you started a fight. There'll be infinite enemies just coming towards you,
Yeah.
and they're not like good. They're not like good enemies. They're like level like maybe like one or two enemies that are like level two. So they're all one hit.
Yeah. We got a comment.
What's up,
She says,
Eileen?
"Hello, Daniel, Connor, and Evan. What's up, Eileen? What's going on?" But yeah, like four is not for everybody. People probably prefer like Brotherhood was good.
Brotherhood was so good.
Was pretty good. I don't like Unity was all right.
I didn't mind
Syndicate
Unity. I
was
just didn't like the
okay.
story. Unity's story was that whole the whole love thing. Like your enemies are the greatest love of your life, and I just think they didn't give Arno enough. You know, the one cool character in it, you end up killing.
Yeah.
When I was Bellic, I'm like, I thought Bellic was cool. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, the goal was to kill a Templar. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
He understood that the balance, and especially in those games. Like, I'm a big lore guy. Like, if I'm into a series, I love reading about the lore. I read the comics.
Yeah.
I read the stuff that's in the game that they
Yeah. The
give you,
lore.
like
Hmm.
little
Yeah.
lore. I love reading about it,
Uh huh.
and it's because a lot of these games can be books. They really could if they stood alone.
Oh yeah. That's why I like the. That's why I like the story aspect of a game in single player stuff,
Yeah.
because I'm looking for if it's got a good story. That's like the one thing people don't prefer the play style, but story wise, the Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla have a good story, but people don't like the RPG element.
And let's be
It's more of
honest,
a grind than
Origins had a good story, and then Valhalla had an alright story.
yeah.
What was the third? What's that one between that?
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Odyssey was the biggest pile of trash that ever graced the Assassin's Creed cover. I
Yeah.
that like those three games you can take out and still have a good story.
Probably.
why the only thing I don't like is they don't listen to a lot of like Ubisoft. Like we've been begging, like this second game you picked, the game Ghost of Tsushima. This is what we wanted Assassin's Creed to
Oh,
be.
it's such a great game. Oh my God, we'll
Yeah, we'll
talk
get
about
into
it.
that. I want that to have its own time.
Oh yeah,
But getting into Assassin's Creed, like Japan, they're just now coming out with a new one, and it's going to be smaller, and it's going to
Mirage.
be yeah, it's going to be compacted to one city, which I'm like, it's fine. I like that. It's
Hmm.
going to be a full fledged story, but it's going to be on the lower end.
Yeah,
It's not going to go all out and be like this gigantic world. I'm okay with that as long as you make it just big enough to be memorizing, but don't make it small enough to where like you're done in 4 hours.
yeah. The map is massive. Like the newer ones, the map's gigantic, and you have to
Yeah,
like ride a lot and ride your horse a lot. That's why at least in those mechanics they have like the auto thing where you just follow the path and you just
yeah.
sit back. But you know, I'm interested to see how Mirage is. I kind of want like a one in Japan, like and they haven't done it yet. They really haven't done that yet.
And there's so much good more going into like after the revolution, like with the third one, that's the farthest we've been was the American Revolution.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm sorry, the farthest we've been is Syndicate, which was the 1899s, which they did a good job. I thought that was a good game. I didn't like the twin aspect. I thought Jacob was a little more fleshed out than Evie was.
yeah,
I think I really don't like it when what's up, Ken Fry? And it's gonna
what's
sound
up,
real bad
Ken?
to me, but I don't like when strong female characters are forced upon the player, especially
Yeah.
when they're not given out well. There's a lot of good female characters that I like,
Oh yeah,
but it's just don't make them out to be like this tough badass. Make them out to be themselves. Like
yeah.
Laura Croft is one of my favorites, and like she's
Oh
not
man, like the
inherently
newer Tomb Raiders
badass,
are awesome.
but what is she good at? She's crafty. You know, if she goes head to head with like a bunch of dudes, she doesn't just escape, and fight them all off. She's smart. You got to be covered. You use bear traps. You trap them out.
Hmm.
You use special gear. That's realistic.
Yeah,
Don't just have it like, oh well, women can kick ass. It's just you're forcing it. It's not going to come out well.
yeah. There's nothing wrong
And
with
that's
it.
what
It's
I feel.
just yeah,
And that's what I feel they did with Evie. With Evie Fry. Her, especially the Jack the Ripper, which I thought was a great DLC.
oh yeah. Jack the Ripper DLC is awesome. Like that's an awesome
Your brother
DLC.
was the bruiser of you used to. You were the smarts. He was the bruiser,
Yep.
and having Jack just destroy your brother, like he just destroyed him. And then what did you have to do? They finally pulled her back and was like, no, to beat him, you got to sneak around, get behind him,
Yep. More
outsmart
stealth.
him.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's what she should have been good at. She should have been the stealth portion of this.
Yeah.
He should have been the hulking brute. I thought that's what they fit in. That's what you roll her up as, and then
Yeah.
you transfer that halfway through the game. But what about me from where did you? I'm here sitting here rambling. You're just great. I'm sorry. I get on a little tangent when I'm so passionate about these games.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, yeah. I love all these. Ever since the first Assassin's Creed, I thought it was awesome. Trying to get up buildings, climbing buildings, figuring out how to get and stuff. I still play like one and two and three. I've been playing three all over again on the PC. I think
So good.
three is just good because it has different elements. You have Kenway, in the beginning, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. It has some of the naval battles, and me, I enjoy the naval battles. Like I said, Brotherhood was also excellent because they do like
Yes.
the line of everybody. But the
Yes.
best thing about Assassin's Creed is you go back in history. Like that's the cool thing about the
Oh
newer
yeah.
ones is they're really good on that about like Alexandria and like certain like locations and that kind of stuff. They tell you the lore, and that's what it's
And
really. It may not be
the
your
war
play
was
style,
fun.
but the lore is great. I love like learning about like in the Assassin's Creed you go like the one in Italy. You're like in Italy and they tell you about like every location, the history of it, the things
Yeah.
that happen at that place. And that's the cool thing about it. It's kind of based on, real history, but at the same time, it's not. And I just like the lore and how they
It gives
explain it
you
in the Assassin's Creed
they,
games. I love that.
their way of their way of bringing in people like important for that time period. Like
Yeah.
in Italy, when you're Ezio, you have
You,
you have
you, you know Da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci. You
Yeah,
have
big stuff for you.
Machiavelli.
Yep, Machiavelli.
You
Yep.
know, Cesare Borgia, the Borgia family, who was like, really controversial in there.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot about. Like, I didn't know. I learned this because my family name goes back. You know, and was resurrected during the Renaissance period during that time.
Yeah.
And come to find out, my name doesn't come just from Italy; it comes from Spain. It's actually a Spanish name.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and what they don't, what I didn't know was, um, during that time, during the Roman republics and stuff like that, where Rome was its own republic. You had Romans like city states, and Tuscany was its
Yep.
own. They were heavily under Spanish rule, Spanish influence from
Yeah.
Spain. And also French. They weren't. See, I think of Italy as an entire country at the time. I'm 11, 12 years old playing this.
Yeah.
This got me to go back and actually go and look like, oh wow, let me look my family name up. My family name. I look it up, and it's like Italian Spanish descent.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, and it was from around the same time. So it looks like some of my family left and went to Spain, and then some of them stayed in Spain but came back to Italy eventually. So
Yeah.
my name is in both Spain and
That's pretty
Italy.
cool.
So I have half Latin in my family. I'm half Latin.
Yeah.
I just put it that way because
Yeah. There's another
Italy
thing I
was
want to say about Assassin's Creed is the parkour in the games, the climbing, the
revolutionary.
running, jumping from building to building, and that's why 3 was cool because it introduced you can go like through the trees. You get
Yeah,
way up in the tree. I always try to get it's like the songs you can get, or like you could get there's I forget what they're like points you can get up to the highest points and you have to like collect it. Like I always
yeah.
like that stuff, but the parkour is some of the best part. The way you could do
They
assassins,
introduced
all that kind of stuff.
they introduced in that game where you can run through a building and it would give you like a little cutscene
Yeah,
and you would like run through, and the girl's like getting changed. She's like, oh, and like slams the door.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I
You
don't
could do
remember
that now.
that
Yeah,
game. Just bringing it to the frontier of like the first Americas. I'm like, yo, this is cool shit. Like, this is very cool. Like, this is coming from where we are.
yep,
Like, so like people in Italy got to see old school Rome and old school Tuscany, and
yeah.
they nailed these landscapes because Tuscany looks gorgeous in that
I
game.
thought they did a great job.
And they did like Constantinople, like as if after it had fallen to the Turks.
Yeah,
So like, I'm like, wow, this really makes you like their history may be played with a little bit, but it's spot on.
yeah,
Like and then you go on to read about the war. Like I said, I want to bring back to the war. Like the what was it one after Brotherhood with Ezio as an old man.
yeah. It's where he's like older. He's like gray.
Yeah, he went to Constantinople. I don't remember his Brotherhood.
I think it's the one after Brotherhood. I can't place it. There's
Yeah,
been like
I can't
13, like
place
10 games.
can't place my hand on it. But he like in that one when he goes to Constantinople, you read about Suleiman and
Yeah.
then his father, his uncle, and his uncle turned out to be the bad guy and stuff like
Yep.
that. And he turned out you read about his life after the Kodak or after the game's done. You read the
Hmm.
Kodaks about his life. Suleiman was he ends up being Suleiman the Great, and he ends up becoming an ally to the assassins his whole life.
Yep. Mako says, I remember I have an actual dressed up Ezio for Halloween a couple of times. Brought out the Asian samurai in me.
Oh man, Michael, you're gonna love the new Assassin's Creed Mirage. No, Mirage is the one in Iraq. It's gonna be in
Yeah,
Iraq.
it's in the Middle East.
The what's the one in Japan again?
The other game we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima.
No. Well, yeah. Check out Ghost of Tsushima definitely, but the Assassin's Creed.
Well, they haven't done one in Japan yet, as far as I know.
No, but it's in development.
Oh, I haven't read about it. All I know is Mirage. I know that's supposed to
Oh no,
come
no,
out.
no. Yeah, it's gonna be in. It's gonna be in. There's gonna be a Mirage that comes out, and there's gonna be another one that's a little bit shorter. It's
Oh,
gonna be a
okay.
little bit more compact in Japan.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome because the
So
lore,
I'm feeling.
Japanese lore is awesome. So
Yeah,
the
I
history.
kind of figured, but for me, it's gonna sound weird. The one Assassin's Creed that I wanted was like World War II inside of like Nazi occupied France.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been so cool. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we'll never do a World War II game. I'm like, did you read the lore of like you put out all this cool lore on the World War II assassins,
Yep.
and then you won't let us do anything with it.
Yeah, you could do a lot of
They're like,
stuff with a
oh, well,
lot
the
of stuff.
gameplay will be too hard. I'm like, Ubisoft, you own the rights to an engine. Like, I consider if they would have mixed the engines of, you know, Ghost Recon and maybe a little bit of Assassin's Creed in up close combat,
Let's
you
see.
could have did something.
Maker says,
When
when
it's
is
coming out, it sounds crazy. Japan setting have been there in a while. LOL. The
probably
I
next
don't have,
year?
I have my phone in front of me, so I can't see it. But I think it comes out within the next 2 years.
Yeah,
Because
probably
Mirage
like
comes out next
end
year.
of 2024. I'm gonna guess. They probably
Yeah,
have no
early
idea when it's
2025.
gonna release because I don't know how
Well,
far in development they are.
they've been in development for a couple of years now. Ever
Yeah,
since
I'll say
the
next
end
year,
of
late next year.
Valhalla.
It's my guess.
Yeah, and they're all going to be for PS5 and Xbox Series X. So
Well,
they're going
yeah,
to
because
be good for that.
it's easier to make games when you're focused on one generation rather than trying to do it for both because you can do stuff in the newer consoles that you can't do in the old consoles. So it's for
Yeah,
development wise, sooner or later that's going to happen. They did it with 360. They've done it, but you know
and
that's just
plus
the way it goes,
we're getting
unfortunately.
to it now where the gap in between graphics just looks so bad. Like they don't even
Oh yeah,
try on the past gen.
yeah,
The one game I was disappointed about seeing that was I bought Dying Light 2 for PS4, and
I have that.
it was the worst game. I wish I never bought it because one, I love Dying Light 1. Matter of fact, that's my game for next week. Dying Light.
I have it on
Um,
PC.
I
It's great.
played it. I loved it. The second one, I literally, my wife was like, "You really want this game?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't wait to get it. Like, I can't wait." Like, my
You
first
know what I
playthrough,
don't
I was like,
like
"Oh my
about it?
god,
You know what I don't like about it? At nighttime, that clock.
no time. There's
Like you
no
have you
time."
have no time. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like early in the game, it's like really difficult. You can't go out at night. Like you have like this because you're gonna turn and unless you upgrade that fast, it takes a while to upgrade. That's the only thing I like about it. I'm like, I can't do anything at night. I'm always running and running and running and like making too much noise and running from zombies.
The
Just
problem I
running,
have with it,
running.
which I want to get into, I don't want to get into too much. 'Cause I'm gonna talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But I'll say one thing I didn't like about it was on the PS4 version, it literally would the cutscenes would skip sometimes and
Yep.
make decisions for me, and then it would gray out to the point where everything was gray on the screen. Like the floor was gray, your hands were gray,
Oh
there was
yeah,
no
it's
color.
weird. Yeah.
It was only a PS4 and Xbox One thing. It wasn't a new thing. And I'm like, why does the game look so cartoony? And then I'm like watching it on my TV, which is 4K, and I'm like, is it because I can't play it in 4K? Like, is that the reason? And that was pretty much the reason.
Yeah.
But getting back to Assassin's Creed, like I remember one time, I had sold some of my games off. And I had like maybe one or two games, and I had maybe one or two games, and I was waiting to get some more up. And the only two games I had was Madden and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Evan, I'll be right back in a second. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah, and so I remember like just playing Assassin's Creed 3 over and over and over again, and just finding more things about it that I loved. I bought the DLC, which I had like, the Saw Blade on it, a couple extra naval missions. But doing the homestead missions, it really tied together a lot of Connor's personality, and Connor's personality was second to none. He shows that he does have a heart, and it shows that because the story takes you one way, and you think you and Achilles never make up, and then at the end of homestead missions, you end up burying Achilles, and you end up burying him with his flag, and you look at this community that you built in Davenport, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, thing. You have your own kind of flag to symbolize you symbolize your
Sorry
community.
about that. Apologize. Someone knocking on my door.
Nah,
Okay.
it's no problem. Like I said, I love Assassin's Creed. Some people don't get the series. I do. The thing that threw me off when I played the first one, I didn't understand it. I'm like, what is this magical ball that's controlling everything?
Yeah.
You know. But right now, I want to switch to your game because I want to give your game some shout out because it's one of my favorite games I played. Talk about if the Mongols had never been wiped out. This is an alternate history. If
Yep.
the Mongols had never been wiped out in that tsunami, against against Japan, we would have Samurai versus Genghis Khan and his
Yeah,
sons.
yeah,
And I'm like, hell yeah, I am for it. I want to hear this. I want to play this.
yeah, absolutely. But
You
yeah,
know, Ghost Tsushima. Oh man,
it's such a good game. Yeah, I just want to read one of our sponsors real quick. Monkey Cold Coffee. They make great flavor infused coffee. They have a chocolate and bourbon infused coffee, and they have a toasted almond, also rum toasted almond coming as well. Use the promo code OOTB Sports at the checkout for 10% off. Get yourself some wonderful coffee. They make excellent coffee. It's an excellent way to start your day. Me, I need my coffee in the morning, and it's always with a cup of Monkey Cold Coffee. So, the evolution of flavor infused coffee. So use the promo code OOTB Sports at the checkout of monkeycoldcoffee.com. All right, so
yeah. Speaking of Mojo Coffee, I seen that toasted coconut rum
looks
was
good.
coming.
Yeah.
I was like, I tried to order it because I didn't see it was coming soon.
Yep.
I tried to order it like 3 times. I'm like, oh, I want it so bad. But I just ordered mine 2 bags this week, so I'm happy to
Nice.
get it.
Nice. That's
But
excellent.
yeah, Ghost Steven, man, you told me about it. I played it a little bit. I haven't beat it though.
Man, it's
I got
such
to the part where I get thrown off
yeah.
the bridge.
Yeah, it's such a great game. I mean, it's the story is great. I do it with subtitles, so it has to be in Japanese for me with subtitles. It feels weird in English, So like that, the game is basically about you're basically a young up and coming samurai, and your master, I think he's like your uncle, gets like captured, and he kills everybody, takes over the whole land, and you got to fight little by little in stealth, and it's just such an amazing game that like the detail is unbelievable. The combat is difficult. You could use 4 different stances, like samurai stances with your sword. You upgrade your armor. But the coolest thing is like the photo mode. You could take it where you're swinging your sword, and you can see like the wind, like going through the wind and stuff. But Ghost of Tsushima is an awesome, awesome, awesome game. The story is it's basically about when you get thrown off that bridge, you basically have to basically on your own. You almost basically you're half dead. Let's see.
Yeah.
Michael says the coconut rum drops Wednesday at midnight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's probably going to be really really good. But Ghost of Tsushima is an RPG. You have to like take down these fortresses, and you have to really like pace yourself because some of the combat's really difficult. Like you got to be able to counter, and that's what I like about it. The combat is really great, but the story is even better. So
Yeah.
basically, it's about taking back over Tsushima Island, which is south of the main island of Japan. It's a real island, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The graphics in the game are beautiful. The combat is great. The story is great. If you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, it's an excellent,
I
excellent
gotta finish
Sony
it. I think I want to
exclusive.
buy it for PS5,
Oh, I would.
but I want to get a PS5 first, and
Yeah,
then I'm gonna get some PS exclusives for it.
yeah,
Right now, I'm playing on Xbox. I'm just enjoying. Lately, I've just been enjoying you know, playing some Madden lately. I haven't really been playing a lot. I've
yeah,
been super busy with work, just trying to get work done and trying to get some stuff done personally. But I haven't really been playing much, and you know, I'm sitting here unpacking my house still, and I got boxes everywhere. I'm like, what's in this box? I open it up. It's like all my Xbox games and all my PSP games and stuff like that.
yeah,
And we have our guest here, Mike. He sent us some pictures of some of the stuff he got in his garage. And
yep.
this guy's got a game store in his garage.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And like he's
I
got
wish I
games
had
that
all
I
these old
haven't
games.
seen in 10 years, and that are now collectible. And he talks about he sold 2 games for $150. I'm like,
Some of them are
Jesus,
rare.
and
So
people will
some of
pay that
the
because they want that nostalgia
well,
back.
some of the hard copy stuff is hard to get. You can't buy it digitally anymore. I wish EA would let you like buy that stuff, but it's tough to get some games easy. The hard copies, some people like to keep them, and they're just really tough to get, and they're like $100, $150. Like if you want a copy of certain games, it's going to cost you when it probably you could
Yeah,
have a decade ago, 15 years ago, got it in like the clearance rack at GameStop for like $5. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, I
Sometimes
remember.
it's worth going into those stores and looking.
I
But
remember at one time I was playing. Actually, I still had a PS2. This is around PS2 days. Right before PS3 came out.
yeah,
And I remember buying Max Payne, the first one, for like $4 at
yeah,
GameStop.
right.
You know, and it wasn't on sale. It was like it was in the clearance bin. I remember this is how old I am and how old me and you are.
You know how young you are.
Kids don't know nowadays about going into GameStop. Or if they do, it's not. GameStop used to have this huge bin full of like PS2 games, GameCube games that were
Yeah,
like under $5. And the thing is, they never took the games out the cases.
yeah,
And we used to always, it's gonna sound horrible to say, but we used to always have an adult come with us, and we would sit there and talk to the guys, and
yeah.
be like, because they're gonna watch kids unmistakably. We went in there and marked games with a marker. Whatever games we marked, he would go in there, take them at the discount, and put it in his pants, and we'd leave.
Oh, oh my goodness,
So we'd walk out with like 30 games, and
that's
like so.
horrible.
And I was like 7 or 8 back then,
Let's
but
see.
like yeah.
Because I can't believe how much people paid for 3 games. I made a killing. 5 games for $400. Yeah, some
Dude,
people just want that
you have,
nostalgia factor. You know what I'm saying?
you have a lot of games that like people, and it's not like all right. People think of this like for me. I see a lot of these old CODs, and I'm watching them like,
Yeah,
man, I remember how it was to play that game when I was, I was a preteen or like in my teenage years, and I'm like, but then you go back and you play it, and you can't recapture it.
yeah,
Sometimes you can recapture that vibe, and it's fun, and
hmm
you have fun for a couple weeks, then you don't play it again. You're like, it wasn't. He's like, my imagination. Like, what's sad for me is my imagination died a lot. Like I used to play wrestling games so much that like wrestling didn't bother me, and I
yeah.
used to create my own storylines in my head and stuff like that. I go to play it now, I'm like, I can't think of why I would do this and this.
I know, right? You're like, oh, I used to
And I'm
play
like,
this.
and I'm like, why
I
am I
can't
playing
believe
this? Like,
this
why am I
used to be
playing
the
the same
best game
match
ever.
over and over again? Why am I playing the story mode over and over again? And I'm like,
Yeah,
am I that bored? And like, I'm just like, and I went back. My dad's like, no. He's like, your imagination's idle. And he's like, you don't have the same imagination you did as a kid.
yeah. It's
I'm
totally
like,
different.
I'm like, God damn it, you're right. I'm like, and he's like, nothing to it. What I figured out was going back and playing some of these old CODs. Like, it wasn't what you were playing; it was who you were playing with.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
think
miss some of the people
multiplayer
I
with
played with,
with
man.
your
Because
friends, right?
man, the last good time I had on Call of Duty was Warzone, and I had some the first 3 seasons of Warzone. Me and a couple of my old buddies from like middle school we used to play, and it
Yeah,
was real fun to play with them again. Just sit there and talk bullshit for 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever we played. And so like having that nostalgia back, dude, like I'll never recapture that again, no matter how hard I
it
try.
just doesn't feel the same. I go back and play the old games. I'm like, it's not as impressive as it was when I was a kid. It's like
I
it
think
loses its
sometimes you lose.
luster over time. Sometimes, being
Sometimes
nostalgic
controls
sometimes is great.
frustrate you.
What?
Like, why is the circle buttons and grapple? I'm like, it's just fucking stupid. And
Oh,
you like can't change.
I go back and try to play like the older games. I like forget. I need like to play them for a while because I forget because I'm so used to newer controls. When you go back to
Yeah.
simplification for some reason, it's hard to adjust to that. I find myself like, oh, I'm hitting right trigger to pass instead of like just buttons. Just buttons like a directional. There was no triggers. Yeah, like I think the Genesis came out with triggers like at some point, but in the beginning, Nintendo Genesis, like I started on like the Nintendo Genesis, it didn't have triggers on it or bumper
Yeah.
buttons. It just had the 3 or the 6 and the start and the select and then the little directional pad, and that's Nintendo was just 2 with the directional pad and the start and the
Yeah.
select. So it's totally different going back to those old games. Going to play those old games.
Yeah, and then like the speed of the old games, man, they get you to a point where you're like, oh, come on, hurry the fuck up, like, and then games with unskippable cutscenes, I want to throw them out the window. I'm like, yo, I can't sit here and just watch. Like, my attention span is so done. If something's not happening every 90 seconds, I'm going. Like, I can't watch it.
Yeah, like that's like pique your interest, and
Yeah, it's bad.
I just find I go back and play some of the old games, and they're not as fun as they once were, even
Yeah,
though they're
for me,
still
like
great.
especially if a game doesn't have voice acting in it, you have to like read stuff like that, like read what they're saying. Like if I go back and play a game, I go back and play it because like back in the day, like when I was a kid, I didn't like reading because I read slow. And I was a fast reader, but like my ADHD could not allow me to read something and keep the knowledge. I
Yeah,
really couldn't. Like I was that big at ADHD, so
yeah,
I didn't like reading because I couldn't remember anything, and I learned that it had to pique my interest.
yeah. Maker says shit. I started out with a single joystick and one button. Yeah, Atari.
Yeah, he grew up on Nintendo board games back in the 1800s.
Atari's the first system I played before anything else. We had one in our house. That was the
My
first thing
man
I
grew
ever
up on
played.
Pong.
What?
My man grew up on Pong.
I played
He
that
has the
Pitfall,
old school pachinko
Asteroids,
board. He has the old school
Othello.
pachinko board.
Games were so simple back then. It's just totally different today. If I had to go back, I'd probably have to practice. I'm like, oh, I only got one button and one joystick. Oh man. Let's see.
Paul,
There's a
super
Super Breakout.
breakout
Don't get me
dummy.
started. Oh man.
Paul was playing pachinko at like 6.
But it's like this thing. Like you go back and play those games. You're like,
Or
I Paul's
mahjong.
probably the same way. You know.
Playing mahjong before he was even playing gaming. But yeah, it's going back with these games. Man, I get on a nostalgia run. I really do.
Yep.
And getting on a nostalgia run is so fun, man, because it does kind of scratch an itch, and then like I don't know, man, it's like taking ecstasy almost. It's like you get on this big high, like oh, it's so fun to play, it's so fun to play,
Yeah.
and then like the realization that it wasn't what it was, and it just disappoints you nowadays.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, man, I don't know, like, it just makes you so sad. I'm like, but
Yeah.
you
It's
chase
just
it again, but you
yeah.
chase it again. You want to chase it with a different game. That's
Yep.
why I haven't bought a lot of old games lately.
No, I'd rather play
Like
like the remasters. If they remaster stuff, I'll play it.
while I was playing Metal Gear Solid, right? I played it. I was playing it a lot. Was I not?
It's a great game. I played the hell
I
out of
haven't
that
touched
game.
it in like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah, if I
I
went
haven't
back
even
to that game,
watched it
it'd
with
take me a
video on it.
while to get used to it again. Because it's so different than a lot of stuff. You have that like top down view. It's not like a third
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
It's like
It's like
the sound when you get caught. It makes that sound. You get caught. You're like, oh, I'm done. Yeah, some missions you
you gotta
get caught,
hold
you're finished.
you gotta hold the back buttons in to like scroll through your shit and
Yeah,
like
but Measure Ghost of Tsushima. Anyone who hasn't played that game, it's a great game if you like Japanese Lord Samurai stuff, and definitely check that game out if you haven't played it.
and also there's gonna be a Ghost Tsushima movie coming out, I
There
believe. I
should be.
heard.
There probably going to be a second game, I would imagine. I haven't finished it yet because I played so much stuff. I played about half of it.
Have
Just
you,
like Red
oh,
Dead, I played about half of it. I haven't finished that yet.
how did
Uh,
you not finish Red Dead?
I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm talking about. I haven't finished that yet. Yeah, I play so much stuff. I play so much stuff
I
that
gotta get off this call with you. I gotta get off this call with you. That game is so addicting. How did you not play it in one playthrough?
because I play too many games. I play too much stuff. That's why. Because I
I
play it on
thought my attention span was that I didn't think I was gonna like Red Dead 2. I didn't think I was gonna like it because
Red Dead
I liked
Redemption
the
2 is
first one. It was
awesome, but don't
alright.
say that. I'm only like in the middle.
I
So
thought I was gonna like the first one.
yeah,
I didn't. Well, alright. I started on Red Dead Revolver. I played the original, the one that
hold on one
Rockstar bought
second.
from Capcom.
Make what system makers you Ghost of Tsushima
PS5,
is a
PS5.
PlayStation exclusive. PS4,
Yep.
PS4 Pro, or PS5. If
You're gonna
that's
have
what
to
you're
dust off
asking
that
about.
system.
Yeah, it's PlayStation exclusive. Needs to be on PC. But
Oh, yes.
but I started playing Red Dead on PlayStation on PS4. Got halfway through, then I got it on PC and started all over again because I wanted to play in 60 frames. I don't know. I just wanted to
You can.
do it on
If
the
you still have a
PC.
PS,
On the PC, I played like 100 frames a second. So
you have a
it's
PS4. You still have a PS4, right?
I have a PS4 Pro. I haven't touched my PS4 in a while, but I have a Pro that collects
You
dust
can.
because I play Game Pass all the time, and I'm usually on that because it's next gen and the PS4 Pro's not. It sounds like a jet engine, the PS4 Pro. It sounds like
Yeah.
it's gonna take off and go through the roof. Let's
But
see. Maker
the
says gun
they
games. I
have
started out in the OG off game. Duck Hunt, and Mario. Yep, Mario with Duck Hunt.
man,
2 games in one.
that's so old, man. That's old.
I
But
love
no,
that Nintendo.
the first Red Dead Revolver had a great story. So I won't. I'll tell you Red Dead Revolver because it's
Yeah, I played that.
funny.
Yeah,
You know, your father he found a gold mine with his brother or something like that, his friend. The friend betrays him, and then like, you know, he has like this special pistol. He goes to give you. The house gets raided by all these people.
yeah.
You burn your hand on the burning gun, shoot the dude's arm off because the gun's that powerful. And I was like, oh, okay. I played it and I loved it. Actually, it was one of the first Rockstar games I actually beat. But Red Dead Redemption came out, and I was like, oh, well, let me try this out. I bought it like 3 years too late. Like I bought it like
Red Dead
2012,
Redemption's
2013.
awesome. It's still awesome. Like I play it again on the
Yeah.
Series X. And it looks even better. It's still fun, but compared to two, you're like, oh, I wish I could do this in one and not. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption's great. Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm probably like 60% of the way through. I mean, I play so much stuff that Miko says, "Damn, I still have my PS5 in the box. Never touched it." All these games you guys are saying, I might be breaking it. Well, you can send it to me if you want. I'll take it. I
I'll
play the
take
shit out of
it.
it.
My birthday's coming up in two
hey,
weeks, right?
hey, I'm closer now.
Hey, my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
I just want to read
But no,
another.
I would love.
I just want to read another one of our sponsors here, real fast. This is a new setup here. 1-800-HURT 123, attorney Big Al, Jay Fine. Call Jason at 24/7 directly at 267 962 4895 or Paul at 267 303 7324. They cover Philadelphia, PA area, Cherry Hill, New Jersey area, and Pittsburgh, PA. So north and central and South Jersey, so they cover all the area. Anything you need, anytime you need an attorney, give them a call. Attorney Big Al. Okay, it's
Yep.
one of our really good sponsors there. So good thing I don't need any legal help right now. If I
Uh,
did, I'd probably be out of luck because I'm not near any of those areas. So, but thankfully, I don't need any help right now. So
but yeah, going to Red Dead. How do you like Arthur compared to John?
Arthur's awesome. I think Arthur's a great character, and like he's conflicted. Is he doing the right thing? Is he doing the wrong thing? He starts to get like a conscience about him. As he gets older. I
What
like.
part are you at?
I'm at the part where, let's see, where they're like like the third place they go. You know how like in the beginning, like they move the camp, and it's like at that
Yeah.
mansion. I think that's where I'm at. It's like in the middle of the game. I'm like 50% of the way through. Um,
Okay.
a lot of
I know
people are
exactly where you're at.
yeah, it's like when they invade the mansion, they come there. You have to defend
Yeah.
it. You have to defend the whole place. It's like
Is
like
that
an hour after that.
okay?
Yep.
I don't want to give it away if something happened.
Yeah, I don't think anything big has really happened yet. Like
So
basically it's
have you just taken the mansion?
it was I've been there a little while. Like you take it, move there, then you go I did like that plantation one where you go to the plantation, you like save that woman or whatever. It's like that big plantation you're at, and you go up and you have to like take that place. I'm like just past that. I'm like past that part. Like it's probably like an hour or two after they've been at that mansion, that abandoned place.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Don't say nothing.
Well, this is
I'll
what
kill you.
happens. So what you're gonna do it? No, I'm kidding. But it's a great story. I love Arthur.
Oh,
Arthur.
Arthur's great.
I followed Red Dead's like leaks and Easter eggs stuff like that. I followed
Yeah,
it for like 2 years before it came out, and there was so much stuff coming out. Like, oh, it's gonna be three protagonists, and it's gonna be like GTA 5. You're gonna have three different people to play as,
yep.
and you're gonna have all these people, yada yada yada. And I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I'm telling you that now. I'm like, it's gonna be one character. I thought everybody who played, I thought Dutch was a good character in that game.
Dutch was a good character. I also I like the Indian guy. I forget his name. The Native American guy.
Oh yeah, I got you.
And I also like the guy when you go hunt that bear in the beginning, like towards the
Jose,
beginning. I forget his name. He's like the hunter guy. He's like the old guy. Um,
Jose.
yeah, Hosea. Hosea is an excellent character. Just the way they wrote that game. I know why it took so long to make it, and it's beautiful. It looks
Charles.
great.
That's Indian dude. Charles. What's his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Charles
Charles,
Indian dude.
yes. Yeah, I think that it's such an excellent game, and I read they're going to come out with a third one. I saw it
See,
pop
my
up,
rumors
but
of
I
the
don't
third
know.
one, people are not gonna like the third one because the only thing you can do is either go back or
Yeah,
you can explore what happens to Jack.
yeah,
And
exactly.
what I had an idea was Jack starts up his own gang, and it kind of becomes because you gotta remember the first one ends in 1917,
Yeah,
so it's just after World War One, and he's only 19.
yeah,
So like, or he's only 18 or something like that. So he's still young, like fairly young.
yeah,
Now imagine you advance that 12 years into
yeah.
like 1929, 1930s,
Yep,
and him and his crew are bank robbers,
yeah,
and you call it Red Dead Redemption 3, and it's about him, the sins of the father.
yeah,
He's getting hunted because he's still part of that gang, or
yep,
what he did to Edgar Ross.
yep.
I've been like, that was the perfect. Everyone's like, oh, it's not a Western. I'm like, it's not about being a Western. It's a
It's not about
story.
being a western. It's about the story itself and the progression of the story.
Exactly.
Like
I'm
it
like,
is.
just because both
Yeah,
of them take place in the West, I'm like, if you didn't follow the terms of the first one, the second one should have nailed it in for you.
yep.
These are towards the end of the Wild West. The Wild West is dying.
Well, yeah, because it's a lot about law and order now, and you have the Pinkertons. You have those those guys they want order. So any
Yeah.
so they're like the last
Uh-huh.
gang like that to exist in 18
For
was
a
it 18,
while, and then what happened?
1899.
That until the early 1910s, yeah. And then there's a few outlaws out west still, but what happens after that? The next outlaws to get up were bank robbers of
Yeah.
the 30s
Uh-huh.
and 40s, prohibition. That can lead exactly into that. It'll be a great story.
Of course it will. I mean, if I expect them to. I mean, the way they wrote Red Dead Redemption 2, the writing was outstanding in that. Like the character of Arthur, and how he starts getting a conscience, he starts being conflicted. Like I
Oh wait, just wait. You can't talk on it yet. Just
nope,
wait.
nope. I know it's gonna get crazier and crazier. So
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it no more. On
that's
to
all
a new
right.
game. On to a new one.
Hey, I'll finish. I'll finish it at some point. I mean,
No,
but I
you
play
gotta
so
finish
much
it within
stuff.
like.
You
All
know,
right, I'll give you 2 weeks, or I'm gonna spoil it for you.
I'll do my best.
No, 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 no. I am making a point right here. If you do not finish it in 2 weeks, I get to spoil it for you, and I'm gonna ruin it. I'd rather you experience for yourself. Now, if you get to me and tell me, "Hey, I'm close to the end,"
All right,
I won't spoil it for you. But you have to finish it within 2 weeks. That is
I'll
a game you
try.
cannot leave around for so long.
Of course not, because eventually, it's been out a while. So
It's probably been out 4 years. It's
I know,
been 5 years out.
I know. Like that's the thing. I'll finish half of a game. I'm like, oh, this game looks good. And I'll play half of that one, and then I'll jump to another one. I'm like all over the place with games, like all over the place.
I'm gonna hang up on you.
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna tell you.
I like too much stuff. I guess you know.
No, you just play too much. For me, I have to finish something. I have to before I start something else.
Yep.
Like for me, I beat State of Decay 2. I got to a point where it's like, oh well, you taking over this whole town. I'm like, what do you want to do? You want to move to the next town or just keep this one safe? I'm like,
Yep.
I took out all the play cards in one town. They're like, oh, move to the next town. I'm like, nah, it's not my problem. So I was like, nah, I'm good.
I just play too much stuff to. It takes me a while to finish something sometimes, especially since I started all over again on PC. From the beginning. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
we got.
listen, I
What do
want
you
to hear
say?
what some of the games our people are playing. What's everyone else playing out there right now?
Yeah, I've been playing Ghostwire. That
I
new.
see you play that. I see you streaming the other day.
It's yeah, it was like a test stream I did. We're gonna be doing the Joystick Junkies live play at some point in the next couple of weeks. Here we gotta come up with a schedule. But yeah, that game is fun. It's like kind of like horror, kind of like action, kind of like RPG. And you use like these powers. You have to like save souls and stuff. It's pretty good game. Like that's what I've been playing mostly. Maker says I still haven't finished the game since Halo 1 with the 7 rings. ADHD takes it over. Scott MVP5 says
But
Danny
you can sit there and
dimes
finish. But you can sit there and play a Minecraft game until you finish a stadium.
or a whole
Get out of
city.
here. Get out of here. Get out of here, Paul. Get out of
Yeah,
here. You
another
are
one.
banned from this. You are
Yeah,
hereby banned from Joystick Junkies for 2 weeks.
I play
I
like
don't hear your comments, nothing.
like the MLB The Show. I played some NHL 23. That's on Game Pass now.
Yeah, I haven't
PGA
played some of
Tour,
that.
the new EA PGA Tour, because I always like the Tiger Woods ones. Ghostwire. Um, that's like my rotation at the moment. At the moment, Diablo 3 last week. She says, "Go day, go. Good game for the Devils so far. I'm not happy with
All
my
right,
ratings, but maybe it'll go the other way." Um, but yeah, I just want to read one more ad. You can read this one.
gotcha.
1 second.
All right. Looking for donations to help sponsor, to help cover travel and equipment costs of the upcoming year for Original Jane's was founded in the summer of 19. Home is out of Crestona, Pennsylvania. Any donations will help. Like I said, it's mentioned that they are family to us. Ken Fry and his daughter are sponsored in there. They're part of that team. Any donations will help greatly help with travel up to the year. If you need to, and you would like to donate, make a donation, you may reach out to Ken Fry directly or message Paul Spencer out of Max Sports to donate. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. They said there's family over there, and it's for the kids. They help build leaders over there, help these girls, have fun. If you can donate anything, we appreciate that.
Yeah, contact Ken Fry for that. Any help? He hosts the Batcave Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and the Vegas Sports at 10 p.m. on Saturdays. But
Yep.
what are you going to play in the next week?
I'm actually picking up WWE 2K23.
I have 22.
23 dropped. I'm a huge fan of. I'm not a fan of Cena, but I respect what he's done in the WWE so much.
Yeah.
I do want to play his showcase because his showcase
Oh, the
is
showcases
amazing.
are cool. Like in 22, they had Mysterio, which was
Yeah,
cool. But the way you could do it, you could make your own brand. You could have your own shows. You could do all kinds of
yeah.
stuff in it. I think they've done a real good job on both of them. And you kind of like I
Actually,
do like the
also at
Royal
the
Rumbles and
ECW
simulate
mark.
them.
I mean ECW mark. So I just make my show ECW
You could do
revamped.
WCW this year too, as a brand.
No,
And well,
no
in 20,
WCW.
23, I love WCW. That's
But I
just me. I
thought
like the
bringing
old
them,
school.
well, bringing them back was fun, and it's always good because I always make a new roster for ECW. I
Yeah,
bring back none of the old people, none of the people that are past their prime, and I just do all new guys. And I literally have like a creation list down
yeah.
to like
You
the
can like
40s.
download a bunch of them, and I do the Royal Rumbles and watch them, like simulate them.
Yeah,
Like I like doing
the
that.
funniest thing about the creation part of that is
Yeah.
the creation of like the dumbest characters ever. You like SpongeBob will be on there, or
Yep.
they'll make Naruto or Goku,
Yep.
and I'm just like, oh, just stop. And I
It's
watch my
so
kids
funny.
because he's got kids YouTube, and like they'll like make a like SpongeBob versus Sonic, and it'll be in WWE 2K23,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he's like, Dad, look, Sonic's beating SpongeBob. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! So I just sit there watching. I'm like, somebody had to go through and create
It's
that.
so funny. Some of the characters are pretty funny, actually. They're pretty funny.
Somebody
I
made
think
one of
it's pretty
the best
hilarious.
ones I've seen was somebody made the Dudleys, and they looked so good. They looked like identical to what
Yeah.
would be.
Maker says first Japan, then Facebook, Now what the hell? Joystick Junkies. What the F?
I see why you get banned. The blasphemy you put on this network is beyond me.
Eileen C says every place is IRS.
What's that?
A wrestler, IRS.
Oh no, God no.
Yeah, the
Oh God
wrestler,
no.
IRS.
Anyways, what Mike Atunga, he's Bray Wyatt's dad. Uh,
Yeah, I like Bray Wyatt. I like Bray Wyatt.
yeah, I'm a big wrestling guy. Everyone who knows my father
Yeah, I used to
grew up
watch
in
it
it.
like religiously, like when I was younger, but not just the main
All right,
events,
all right, I
mostly
gotta ask you
the
because
pay
I
per
posted
views.
something recently on Facebook. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Undertaker, easy,
He's my top three. I'll give you that. One of my
easy.
top
Top
three.
three. I really liked. Also liked. I also liked. Oh man. Um. Oh, I can't think of his name right now. Uh, in the
Mine was
smatter.
I gave my top three. Mine was Rob Van Dam. I love Rob Van Dam. He was like my favorite guy ever,
Yep.
and he was one of my favorite characters. And Kane was my second one,
Yeah.
and Undertaker. It was
Yeah.
my three
Undertaker was
favorites.
always my fave. I always liked Ric Flair, even though he's like a perfect villain. I always liked Ric Flair. Ric Flair is always classic. Um, I also liked Bam Bam Bigelow. I liked him.
Oh,
I
Bam
liked
Bam.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Funny, I messed
Also,
with my girlfriend because like her dad has since passed when she was a kid, and I always mess with her because she has his ID, and his ID looks like Bam Bam Bigelow. And I'm like, your dad was Bam Bam Bigelow, and she's
Skylar
like, who's that?
BP says MP5 says Hulkamania, Ultimate Warrior, and Bret Hart.
I hate Bret Hart. I like Bret Hart as a wrestler, but he's such a whiny bitch online. It's not even funny.
Meiko says,
Michael, you have been banned from 27 for 2 weeks for being a video game fossil and addict from like crack. Yes, thank you. We have confirmation from our network.
Scott, I liked Mankind. I liked him. He wasn't my favorite, but I liked him.
I'm
I
going to
liked him.
Cactus Jack. I like Cactus Jack.
Yeah, yeah. Cactus Jack is better, but I
I
liked
ain't
him. I
lie. I ain't
enjoyed
lie.
him.
One of my favorite, like watching it. I don't remember this. I used to. It was on the two-man power trip with Stone Cold and Triple H.
Stone
It was
Cold was
like when
awesome.
they,
I liked him.
oh shit, that, oh my god, Stone Cold. I think Evan, do me a favor. Oh
Uh
great,
oh.
here comes Dave.
Uh oh.
Oh great, oh
Uh
great, here we go.
Scott MP5 says Superfly Jimmy Snooker was cool back then. Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah,
He's
until he
old as
murdered his wife.
I remember when they brought him back like I don't know how many years ago he was like old as dirt.
Yeah,
It was like one of the
then you find
WrestleManias
out
like
he murdered
three
his
or four
wife back
years
in
ago.
1986.
Oh man. They were crazy back then, like
I was
like
coked up. If I was gonna
coke,
go old
drugs,
wrestlers, like
drinking,
before my
steroids.
time, before my time, I was a big Andre the Giant fan. I thought he was like
I
really
liked
cool
him. Yeah, I liked
and
him.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my dad used to put these matches on, and I was a big Dusty Rhodes fan. I like Dusty Rhodes anyway. Yeah, he killed his girlfriend back in like '86. If you look it up, he
I
like
didn't
hit her in
know
the head
that.
with a lamp or something. Yeah, my hair's growing in all crazy.
That's
You
what I
know.
do. I just cut all my hair off now. It's just easier now.
Well, no, I haven't been straightening my hair at all. I just been letting it grow in.
That's what I do. I just
But
let it grow and I
it's
cut it
good.
back off.
And look, I'm not bald. It's just because I'm sitting up like this with my head up. If I actually put my hair down, you can see it hairline. And no, this is actually natural curly hair.
Yeah, my
It
hairline's receding. So
happens.
$1 Million Man was funny. I like $1 Million Man. I liked Gold Dust. I thought Gold Dust was pretty funny.
Gold was fun.
I
I got
like Gold Dust.
Dave.
I
I'll
like Gold
shave it
Dust.
when. I'm not gonna be mean. I'll let it go. I'll let it go, Dave. But no, like I said, it's not like wrestling, man. It allows you to play out your own stories. I thought that was a real fun thing for me.
Yep.
Um, especially for wrestling. Oh man, just wrestling games like Here Come the Pain. Oh, loved it. Love that
Oh
game.
yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I want to talk about. On Thursday at 7:30, we're going to do a live draft round one. We're gonna cycle people in and out, when our picks come up, and also Evan on Big Blue Power at 7 o'clock. We're gonna do round 2 and 3 as well.
Yep, Friday. And a
On
big guest.
Friday.
Yep, we have a guest coming on with us. My father from the Mike's Football Podcast. will be
Yep.
joining us for round 2 and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It should
Doing
be
a
a lot of
live
fun.
draft.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
It's gonna be a
Thursday at
relaxed
seven
time.
thirty.
We're not gonna really be talking Giants much. We'll be
Yep.
talking about our picks,
Of
but
course.
we're gonna be going over everybody's picks from round 2 and 3. I think that's something
Yep.
special because those are real gem hours, and I really want us to, you know. So I won't. I probably won't be on Thursday, and
Yeah.
we won't be on Thursday with the main crew. We're gonna let them have that, and just let them. We're not gonna cycle ourselves in
Yeah.
because we do have our own night to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be on our own night and having fun. But we're welcome you guys to come check us out. Um, Dan, also, you have a new show on the network, which I was surprised
Yeah. New York Rangers on the ice.
for the
This is
playoffs.
yep,
Yeah.
this is the New York Rangers on the ice. I'm going to be doing post game. It don't look too good for them right now, but I'll be doing post game, pre game and post game. New York Rangers on the ice. So check me out after the game, win or lose.
Yeah.
So
And I always want to
fun.
say from the bottom of my heart, I haven't watched hockey in a long time, but you make me want to watch hockey again. Even though I'm not a Rangers fan, you do a great job on that show, especially doing it by yourself. So
Yeah,
I
I like
really
it.
want to give you a round of applause and
Yeah.
congrats, man. You do a
Well,
great
thank you.
job and keep up the good work, bud.
Thank you. That just a random idea I had. I got like 13 or 14 viewers today, so it's much better. It was pretty solid. It was a lot of fun. It was almost an hour. I expected
Oh
to go a
yeah,
half an
brother.
hour. It was almost an
Listen.
hour.
I
So,
checked in on Twitter. I said good luck. I shared your stuff, brother.
well,
I
thank you
hope
very
it gets out
much.
there.
Yeah.
And you do a great job on it, brother. I really do appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on
this
my
is Go
show.
Rangers. Yeah, they better get their head out of their ass right now. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, what you guys on with 3-1, right?
Yeah. Oh, what are you
All
saying?
right.
I'm sorry.
I said you're up 3-1 in the series, right?
2-1. 2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, what is your game for next week, Dan?
Um, I am gonna say Portal 1 and 2.
All right. I'm going to go with the Mafia series
That's a great choice. That's a
because
good
I'll
choice.
talk about the highlight in a little bit.
Yeah, MP5 Skype Fight Away to Go Day. Thank you very much. But I love
Thank
the
you,
Portal.
Sharon.
The Portal game. I like puzzle games. So those are two of the older gen games that are pretty good single player games, even though it might not be your style. But I love Portal games. I think they're sadistic and you gotta figure them out, and I think they're pretty cool. I like puzzle stuff though, stuff that like tests my wits.
All right, guys, we're going to show you a picture of our schedule coming up and what we're going to do, our new shows. Monday, always catch us here at 8 o'clock,
Yep.
Joystick Junkies. Tuesday, 8 p.m., extra innings with Joe Sullivan and Euro Paul. Wednesdays, 10 a.m., the Batcave, talking all Mets sports with Ken Fry, the Batman, the Bat Dad. So Wednesdays at 6:30, it's them 215 boys. Okay, sorry. So, two over here, ball. Wednesdays at 8, college football frenzy. Talking all college football, college scouts coming out. Who they got in the top 25 starting. Spring ball is still playing right now, so there's a lot of teams getting reps who we might see in the fall. Thursday, the old man, Mike's Big 4 for 4 podcast, talking all Philly sports, Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, and the Flyers. Thursday, also at 10 p.m., Fight Club. We just had a big fight over the weekend. I was wrong about the fight. I thought Ryan Garcia would win. He didn't. But I guess I'm going to go join them on Thursday night and talk about that at 10 p.m. with Joey Woods and Paul Spencer. Friday, you always know it, 8 o'clock, the Big Blue Power Hour right here. And then Saturday, we have the biggest sports scene at 10 p.m. with Ken Fry and Rob Hefner.
Yeah, check them all out, and we have a new closing video for you. Where we'll close everything out here. But Evan, it was a great talking to you about these games, about gaming in general, and Ghost of Tsushima. I got some comments here before we go. Let's see. Maybe just join. Marcus said Minecraft, please. I don't play Minecraft, so I know about it, but I like hard. I play Minecraft Dungeons. That's why I played. Marcus says no show this week for Fight Club 215 because we're doing the NFL show on Thursday. So we'll be doing that, and hopefully round one doesn't last forever. You know what I mean? We got to wait for the picks.
I
But
know they make round one like fucking 4 hours.
yeah, absolutely. But Evan, it was
It's like,
great talking.
oh,
Yeah, it was great
they have
talking to
10
you.
minutes on the clock, and it's like a half hour later. The pick
Yeah,
is in. I'm like, you bullshit.
yeah. Don't look at Twitter. Nobody look at Twitter. I'm not even gonna look at Twitter at all. So no one look at Twitter. But it was great. Talking to you guys today about gaming. And we will see you on Thursday at 7:30 for the NFL draft. Hopefully, the Giants have a good draft, and all the other teams in the NFC have a horrible draft. So,
Straight away,
well,
first round picks.
yeah. But thank you, everybody, and we'll see you. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care.
Take care.